Y'all, listen. Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'm not going to hold y'all. Like, tonight's episode was probably one of the best reunions that I have seen in this entire year. Now, is it calendar year when you be like, when you're talking about the year since what? I think it was January of 2023 to now, okay? Because part two, baby, if I thought part one was lit, part two was insane. And I gotta tell y'all, this is the best reunion that I have seen all year long. Hands down. If I have to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it. If I was a betting man, baby, I would give this thing a 10. We got so much. I have so many notes. And to be honest with you, a lot of these are within the first 10 minutes of the episode. It is so much to unpack here. I mean, we got folders of information. We got all types of things. We got a walk-off, a George Jefferson walk-off of the stage, baby. We have got it all, okay? And before we get down into the dirty and the nitty to the gritty, we also got a sponsor for today's video. So let's get into that right now.
Hold up, picture it. You're watching your favorite reality TV show and that commercial break hits. You already know what time it is. It's game time, baby. And today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Match Masters. Let's get into this game. Match Masters is the world's most popular multiplayer match 3 game, meaning that you can either play live against your friends, people from around the world, or by yourself in solo mode. So naturally, of course, it's going to be a showdown between me and me, Sherlock Homeboy. The mission, should you choose to accept, is to match pieces on the board to get the highest score. You'll want to match 3 pieces or hopefully more to rack up the points. So it's not just your match strategy that matters. You want to also get into the boosters to make things even more interesting and really crush your opponent, like I'm about to. Really? Really? There's also crazy events, wild tournaments, so you can play in private events with your friends with tons of prizes and rewards. Not to mention it's free to install, free to play, and best of all, it's ad-free. Be sure to click the link in the description of this video to download Match Masters and complete the in-game rewards calendar to win daily free gifts and the chance to win a $500 Amazon gift card. Winners for the Amazon.com gift card giveaway will be announced in-game on January 28th.
Now, y'all, listen, we talking fun and games right now. We also got to talk about cheating and paying for dates. All right, that's the first thing on the menu. And baby, when I tell you something, this show never ceases to amaze me because and this is also why I feel like you need to go to a small town and film your reality TV shows. I want from this point forward, every reality TV show that come on, every new show, I don't want to know the people involved already. I want strangers, okay? Because strangers who are not a part of the reality TV world will come on the TV and tell all their business and they won't have a qualm about it. All right, let's get into the Kiki of it all because that's first on the menu because Latisha and Kiki are going at it first. All right, so the cheating allegations come up that Latisha is leveling against Kiki, and turns out they ain't no alleged. It's true, baby. It's all true. They've been cheating on each other the entire marriage, according to Latisha, all right? And Kiki is like, I sure have, and your point is, and I'm like, yes, tell us more, give us your tea, because this actually might be a little bit more interesting than what you got on Latisha and Marsua, but I want to hear a little more first. Give me a little more tea. So apparently they both had the infidelities, and Kiki says she's not a dumb trick. Oh, no, she's not. No, she's not. No, not like Latisha. Anyway, Maurice is trying to tell Latisha to leave Amin out of it. And I guess Latisha said, you ain't leaving my husband out of it, so I'm bringing your husband down with me. And I got folders to prove it, okay? I got the folders. I got the papers. I got the papers right here, Carlos. I got the papers to prove it. But just hold on for a second because I'm going to sit them behind my back for right now. Hold on, okay? So Kiki is then going on about how big Tisha's head is and how stupid she is, okay? Literally, that's what she's saying. And Latisha's not here for these jab throwing. She just wants to talk facts and what's in the papers, okay? But before we get to the papers, Carlos says, "Can you defend yourself, Kiki? I'm gonna give you this opportunity." Now, I sure wish he had given her Tambra more of an opportunity to defend himself, but it was a different day. Okay, let's talk about it. Was a different day. It was a different day, different time, different topic. Okay, so we'll talk about that when we need to talk about it. But this reunion right here, this one, okay, every little nook and cranny got dove into, and I was not mad at it at all. Okay. So Kiki says, yes, they both cheated. And one day before they got married, he had asked her for some money. And then later on that day, she caught him out on a date with a chick spending her money. And then apparently she acted a plumb fool at the restaurant. And Tisha's like, and she's still married him. So even that story, I'm like, girl, like, how you now see, this is my thing. Now I get it. What you do at 18, 19, 20 is probably not the same thing that you're gonna do at 40, okay, or 35, however old she is. I don't know how old a young Kiki is. I'm gonna say she in her maybe 30s or 40, 30, late 30s, maybe early 30s, mid 30s, mid to late 30s, okay, as one of my friends say, mid to late, okay, or mid to early maybe, I don't know, but it was a while ago, okay, that's what I'm trying to say. But girl, I would have had to get a refund on my money. Like, you gonna give me my money back? Okay, actually, no. You know what? Since you're spending my money, I'm sitting down and I'm eating. Y'all got to go, okay? Either that or I'm joining, and then you got to pay for the difference, okay? And then I need to know, how much money did you give him, girl? Did you give him all the money? Like with hundreds of dollars, 1,000, a stack or two? Because, and then where did he take it? Was it Benihana or was it Morton's? Okay, because I need to. These details matter because it's gonna tell you how he gonna spend your money on you later. Okay, I digress. Anyway, Martell and Melody are both like, I thought this was you was talking about some type of arranged dating situation, because I was going, what in the business arrangement is going on here? But thank God she settled that, okay, because she said she acted a plumb fool when she got to that restaurant. I would have liked to seen it. Anyway, Tisha says, oh, back to the documentation. She's got the documents and she's got the folders. And apparently, you know how people do. They got to lick their fingers and turn the page. Apparently, document here, statement 24, okay. Apparently, Latisha has heard the entire conversation that Kiki had with some guy, and Kiki was allegedly begging the guy to please tell her the date. Hold on. The information that she got on Marsua, okay? Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Tell us that. That's what she was doing. She was begging for the information. Okay, so she was begging, and apparently the dude was like, listen, I would like everybody on the phone, okay, instead of me just talking to you and giving it to you and spilling you the tea. So Tisha then says that she called Kiki and asked her about the conversation. Tell me about the conversation, girl. And Kiki said she did not ask him about her and Marcel. Now, some kind of way, Tisha heard the conversation. Was it a recording or something like that? That'd be the thing that I don't understand about this show sometimes. Like, is it people record? Is it secret recordings too? I mean, is that what's going on? Are we taking it back to Giovanna? I mean, sorry, Giovanna, you got kind of thrown into that one, but I mean, it was the only way for me to really make a point of reference for people who might have been, back in the day in Real Housewives of Atlanta land. Anyway, more on Real Housewives of Atlanta in just a second. Hold on, we got you. So anyway, at this point, Tisha feels like the girl was lying, Kiki was lying, and Kiki had wanted to talk to her face to face, which I think was probably on camera, but I don't know. And the theory is, according to document number 35A, okay, according to Latisha and Marsua, Kiki is using them as a storyline for relevancy on the show, to which Kiki states, well, I've always been relevant. That's why you guys were telling people about me or something like that, before she was even on the show. Now, she didn't say it like that, but I think she did make a reference to, them talking about her or whatever like that. So Carlos then says something to the effect that, in a small town like Huntsville, a lot of people may try to attach themselves to the show for the relevancy. And it is oftentimes, that level of, I don't know, alleged desperation, because it just seems like that's maybe some of what's going on, that people are just, really trying to attach themselves. Now, I don't know. I would probably have to ask Miss Bettie this, because I don't know what's going down into the group messages and things like that. But and ain't nothing wrong with it, because I feel like the groups and the things is keeping the show going. It keeps the conversations going. It makes the show even more successful because people are so passionate about it. You know what I'm saying? It's not oftentimes that in a lot of towns you will see a reality TV show being filmed, and so your proximity to fame is that much greater, especially if you have some intel or alleged intel on some type of scandal as it relates to the people involved, right? So Carlos is like, Melody and Kimmy, how do you feel? Do you feel like Latisha is in the denial about what Kiki is trying to tell her? Now, so Melody and Kimmy are like, girl, you go. No, you go, girl. You go. Girl, you go. I ain't gonna do it. Who gonna do it? You want me? I can't do it, girl. Girl, if you don't just tell him, answer the question. Kimmy, no, I think they just tired and weary. Ain't nobody coming to the forefront with documentations or the girl. But I'm saying there's all types of folders being passed around. So I'm surely somebody got something up in there. And the way they was bleeping out names, maybe somebody who was bleeped out is a part of this situation and can shed some light onto some things. I'll never know, because I don't know. It was all bleeped out. Until we know until somebody uncovers the secret recordings of who was bleeped out, I don't really know. All I know is the people online in the comments, y'all were saying it's somebody's makeup artist, and I don't know whose it is. Okay. But it's crazy for me to think that this man will be running around with somebody's makeup artist who is actually doing their makeup on the show. Now, that is some kind of cockamamie, but we've seen stranger things happen. We've got an actor on the show who's done some crazy things. More on that later. Anyway, let's take it down a notch. Okay. Martell is cracking up, mind you, as Kimmy and Melody pass the baton betwixt the two of them. And so Mel feels like she gives a very politically correct answer. Yes, Mel. Yes, Dr. Rogers. She says, I feel like from experience, it choosing to walk away from a marriage, you want to have something concrete, and Latisha doesn't feel like she has anything concrete. Was it in the beeps? Was it in the bleeped out? Was it in the sound effect from last week? I don't know. I never know. So anyway, Carlos asked Kiki, why do you think Latisha is dumb? Kiki says she's never seen, and why are you calling her a dumb idiot? And Kiki is like, well, she's never seen this behavior from me in the past, so she should know. Why would I want to ruin her? And Marsua is like, no, that's when Marsua said to be relevant on TV. And Kiki's like, I'm relevant without TV, which is why you go around spreading my business. Now, when you think about it in that context, sounds like, truth be told, they were talking about her before she came onto the show. So to me, but did we know that then? I don't really know. Because it never really made the air. So we're talking about relevancy to TV. So I don't know. What y'all think? Anyway, at that point, Kiki's issues with sobriety and what she was dealing with the Crime Stoppers comes up. Okay, this is what I want to know. And so the test comes up that Melody gave her that day as well. And we get a rewind selector of the Negatroid that the test provided for the dome. Now, for those of you guys who don't know what the dome is, I'm using short form terminology to in place of a term that may be flagged. I don't know. So what I'm saying is that the test that Melody had her take at that point on the show, it said that it tested negative for the dome. But Kiki had just previously told us that she was taking the dome daily. Okay. So if you're taking the dome daily, how is the test a Negatroid? That doesn't make any sense. And I don't feel like we really cleared it up, because Kiki is like, well, no, before that, shade. Carlos was like, Mostly at Martell. I mean, he was letting Martell have it, okay? And to be honest with you, I was here for him giving every little inch of it to that actor over there, okay? To that Academy Award winning actor. I was here for every last bit of it. Kudos to Carlos. So at that point, Carlos says, well, Kiki, you threw a drink at your cousin. Cheers to you. And I think when we saw Mel throw a drink at the Martell, we all said, child, go ahead. He deserved it. No shade, Martell. Woo! And the look on Martell's face, he knew he was getting lit up. Okay, he knew it, but he couldn't do nothing about it. Because what you gonna say to Carlos? What you gonna say? What you gonna say? What you gonna do? As Sheree says. How appropriate. Anyway, Carlos then says, well, cast and crew Kiki has said that your behavior is erratic and off at times. Okay, well, at least erratic. And Tisha ignored you. And Kiki says, well, she knows that's a trigger for me. Okay. Anyway, Carlos asks, well, did anyone think that she is still on? Did anyone here think that she is still on that stuff? Marsua says, yes. Latisha says she's still on that stuff, Carlos. The collective gasp from every one of me that was sitting here watching it. I was just like, no, wait, now hold on now. Like, I mean, did you just tell us that the girl is still on that stuff? Okay, what stuff is we talking about specifically? Okay, because we're gonna get into that in just a second. Now, Kiki said, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie, and the truth ain't in her.
It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
You gotta have folders when you talk about lies. Okay, so anyway. Latisha says, so you didn't tell me last year that you went to the dealer car and you was about to buy that stuff from him and he kept his stuff in the middle of the car and you snatched a bunch of money from him and then you turned around and paid for the stuff with his money. Now, Kiki, you're doing a whole lot with these people money. Okay, with your money, you giving it to Amin and he going out and he using it for the dates. Now, you didn't allegedly, let me put the alleged badge up here because, I mean, I don't want no smoke and fire and brimstone, okay? Everything is alleged over here, baby. And so anyway, yeah, so you use it. So you giving Amin money. You should take back. You should get your money back from Amin. Amin owes you, girl. Amin owes you a lot of money. Okay, and because now you embarrassed. Okay, so I suggest you go get your money back from Amin. That way you ain't got to take it from the man's car, as Latisha said. Now I ain't say it. She said it. So now we got a whole system going. You get your money from Amin. That way you can take it to the man. No, actually, don't do none of that. Okay, don't do it. Don't do it. And don't take the person. Girl, you is brave, you is smart, and you is important. You should not be taking the money from the people car. Don't you watch the movies, girl? You about to get, you know what I'm saying? It's about to, girl. This is some bad boys type of stuff right here. Now, this is a show. That's a different show. I need to be watching Huntsville PD. Okay, y'all watch Chicago PD because that is some gritty stuff right there. And what they're talking about here on this episode is gritty. Okay, so if you bold enough to be snatching the cat back, okay, not the cat, Lord, snatching the. Well, not the other stuff I was about to say. If you snatching the coins, okay, out the man car, how did you do it, girl? Because that is some super stuff right there. Meanwhile, Kiki says, well, that is something that happened long ago, not last year. Now, I will tell you guys, when I interviewed Kiki, she did tell me something. It wasn't the same thing. It was something similar of just about finding herself in places that she should not have been, to get what she needed. And it was something she regretted, and she was very truthful with it. So for me, I felt like that was a bold moment for her to admit that. So I don't know when this story was. She is saying that it happened long ago. Marsua and Latisha are saying it was just last year. Marsua says it was in 2021. Okay. And something in the way Kiki told him to shut up told me, I don't know. I had a feeling in the way that she said, shut up. It was almost like if you say one more word, and I had to wonder how long ago it really was. Okay. And that's no disrespect to Kiki. It was just something in that moment. Now, Kiki, don't light me up. I'm just being for real, for real. I gotta be honest. Like, it was something in that moment that made me like, it gave me a little chill, girl. It gave me a little chill. I ain't gonna lie. So anyway, but if the girl says she ain't done it, she ain't done it. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that because it's very serious, and that could be affecting like jobs and stuff like that. Which is again why this whole story is so crazy to me, because I don't know. You don't know what type. Like, I don't know what type of occupation she has outside of the show. But the way they making it seem like she ain't got no money, because they making it seem like she was on the Crime Stoppers stealing a lock, according to Marsua, so that she could take the lock back and get the money for it to go buy the stuff. What kind of, like, now when I talk about exposing people, now I ain't gonna lie, like when we talk about exposing, when we put things on like the thumbnails and on the title, usually it is an exposing of something, some detail or something that just like, woo, but this exposing is exposure. Like, this is like, I mean, this is level, I mean, this is like ballistic level exposure of like what they're saying right here. And I'm thinking to myself, now I don't know nothing about birthing no baby. I don't know much about algebra. And I definitely don't know about taking buying gift cards, taking the gift card back, getting the money. Like, I ain't understand that. And when Marsua said it, I was like, now why do you know about it? Because in my mind, I was like, who knows this stuff? Like, who's doing this? I hate having to return something in general, because the people is always usually nasty when you take something back. And I just be like, you know what? I'll just keep it, because I don't feel like dealing with your nasty I don't feel like dealing with your nasty attitude. You know who else I don't like? I'm gonna tell y'all who else I don't like, since I'm getting things off my chest right now. It's the lady down to the post office. I ain't gonna tell y'all where I go, but it's the lady down to the post office. And if she watched this, and I doubt she is, you will know I'm talking to you. You are mean, and you are nasty, and you are vile. And I've been wanting to say this for a long time. You be screaming at these people when they come up in there to drop off their packages. And guess what? These people ain't in there enough to know the rules that be changing all the time about what you want to happen in the post office. So I'm gonna need you to stop being so nasty and so rude to the people when they come up in there. And if you keep on doing it before I move, because I'm about to, before I move, I am gonna go to your manager. Okay. And I will be the Karen that they are claiming Tiffany is. All right. Meanwhile, Carlos says to everyone else, did y'all think she was on this stuff? Okay. Mel did not. Maurice felt like she wanted a TV moment. And Kimmy was like, well, it wasn't my first thought. But then, okay, she was shaking and a juking and a jiving and a sweating that day. So in my mind, I was like, I don't know. It's given she on something. I don't know. Whatever it is, I mean, I don't want it. So Kiki's like, well, we get to the test. Now, girl, how did the test turn up negatory for the Dawn and you taking the Dawn every day? Okay. Now, so production flashes to Kiki's innocent title card, because they go to a break real quick, because everybody's still claiming innocente on the Crime Stoppers A. And so until we hear more about that Crime Stoppers A, I don't really know what to think. But all I know is that they post the card up, so the lady is innocent. Mind you, this is all within the first 10 minutes. Okay, so anyway, Kiki's like, I don't know. I don't know if it was was the Dawn on the test? I don't know, girl. Was it? Yes, it was. Okay. I'm gonna need you to answer this question. So Carlos asked, girl, are you on that stuff today? Kiki, no. The Dawn, yes. The hard stuff, no. Never done it. Okay, just okay. If you got to know the song for me to know what I'm saying. She said she was on. Okay, so it rhymes with her cassette. So anyway, Carlos says, well, when was the last time you took that? Kiki said it's been years, decades, and even. But today she is, good and clear, and she was good and clear at the barbecue and the entire time of filming. So Carlos is like, Marsua, why do you think that she on that stuff? And so Marsua and Latisha, they go in. They've known her for 18 years. They picked her off the road. Carlos apparently had to, Kiki says that her husband took the keys and she was going to walk. I guess because she was saying she got mad at the husband. And Marsua was like, girl, Your family wouldn't pick you up. Your husband wouldn't pick you up. Your friends wouldn't pick you up. It was me. It was me getting off of work, going to pick you up because nobody wanted to come get you on multiple occasions. Now, Carlos asked, was the Crime Stoppers thing confirmation that she was back on that stuff? And Tisha was like, well, why was she still a lock? And at this point, that's when they go into why somebody might steal a lock and then take it back to the hardware store. She does confirm that was her in the Crime Stoppers video, but she denies all of the allegations. So we're just going to leave it at that because I'm confused. I don't know how, gift cards and things like that work when you take them back again. I don't like taking things back at all. She says that she will be vindicated, and then Carlos sends her on her way, Shantae. So Tiffany and Lewis are in the building along with Chris and Nell. Carlos asked Chris to teach him how to dance. He basically says that Chris dances like George Jefferson, and in my opinion, the only person that was given resemblance to George Jefferson would have been Martell when he was stomping to the 90s off that stage, baby, okay? He was stomping, going to get this folder full of nothing. A folder full of nothing, okay? He should have talked to Latisha beforehand and got with her to get a folder, okay? Because she had a transcript of a phone call, nothing that was ever read. Or, I don't know, maybe they did, but it wasn't important enough for them to show it on the show. Anyway, Carlos says, this year, we watched as Martell navigated the streets of Huntsville and maybe Atlanta. Sorry, that's acting. Hollywood. Anyway, as a new man without Melody by his side. And we watched as he desperately juggled dating and co-parenting as a bachelor. After the package, Carlos says, you were all over the place. Are you and Sheree still together? Martell says, well, we were never a couple. We were just friends. And Tiffany's face is like, what? So Kimmy had made a comment that it looked more like a business arrangement, which we now know it was, okay, allegedly, according to Melody, and in the paperwork. Not the paperwork that was in his folder, and not the one in Latisha's folder, but the paperwork that the official paperwork, And so Martell is like, well, I ain't even seen you and Maurice kiss. So Carla's like, how do you feel when people question the validity of your relationship with the Sheree? And, a lot of people feel like you and Sheree made a pact to have a storyline on each other's show in order to have relevancy on a reality show. And Martell says he didn't even want to film her show. Lies! Okay, I'm sorry. Did that come out like that? I didn't mean for it to. Anyway, I didn't mean it. That's alleged, okay? So we get into Tiffany grilling Sheree and, if the scene was this bad. And, I feel like Lewis is... he didn't really give me what I needed, okay? I needed him to be like, no, I wasn't it was crazier, okay? Because these two men should have been talking to my wife like that, okay? Specifically because, I wasn't there. And nobody invited, even though it was at Marceau's place of business, he shouldn't have been up in it, okay? Because Marceau claimed he don't be giving nobody any unsolicited. The fact that you, Marceau, don't understand, if you are going to insult somebody by calling them a Karen, I'm going to need you to understand what the definition of a Karen actually is, okay? A Karen don't have nothing to do with nobody being opinionated, all right? A Karen is somebody who is running around, marching around, claiming folks are doing stuff when they are actually not, okay? That is closer to the definition of what we would call a Karen, and it's usually attributed to a certain population of people, all right? So, or crying victim when one is actually indeed the aggressor. That to me will be more along the lines of what Karen behavior is. But you're talking about somebody that's running around being given unsolicited advice and opinions. Baby, that's you. You are the Karen. You might be Caro, okay? Caro as in Marceau and Karen. Caro. You might be Caro. That is your new nickname. Caro. All right? Say it with me. Caro. All right? So we got the actor. We have Caro. All right? These are the people on the show, right? Okay? Not to be confused with the dome. Anyway, back to Sheree. Why did y'all stop seeing each other? Martell says, well, I was trying to focus on myself or whatever like that, in case maybe, and maybe Ariane. And so Carlos says, well, Sheree said on her show that y'all stopped dating because she couldn't deal with all of your negative press. Tell me more about that. Martell, that's awful. I don't know. And so Carlos says, well, how is it that you're going to be dating Sheree but being flirtatious with Melody? Is it hard to date when you still have feelings for her? And everybody basically has to point out that, yeah, you still got the feelings, okay? You still at least acting like you got the feelings. They talk about the name change ceremony. He don't really understand, but he don't really care, all over the place like he always do. So Carlos is like, well, why don't you still admit that you have feelings for Mel? And Marsua says, well, it is going to get him in trouble with his real wife. Bloop. And I was here for Caro at this point. I mean, I really was. Caro has said, move over, Carlos, hold my beer. Let me host this thing, okay? Carlos says, are you in a relationship with your child's mother? Martell says, no. Caro is like, well, does she know that? Mel thinks that they are. Apparently the kids, are there with her, and she there with them every day. And Mel is never going to trust someone because she adored her family setup so much that she wanted her life, and it turned into single black female, according to Mel. And she didn't say those words, but basically that was the description that she was given. Okay. Now he's going back to her having 11 babysitters, and I thought it was 20, but maybe that was 20 women that he was saying that Caro was with back in the day. I don't recall. All I know is I think it was 20. Y'all let me know. Did he say she had 20 babysitters at one point in time, or am I making that up? I thought it was, but anyway. Oh, then that devolves into more paperwork. Mel says the same way you were asked if you were in a relationship with Sheree, and you said that it was a business relationship, okay? And it's in the court records that you said this verbatim. So then he get the liar, get to running off that stage like George Jefferson, stomping into the dressing room that he couldn't get into earlier and getting the paperwork. I got paperwork here. I got the paperwork. And so at that point, Marsua says, so you sit up here. So basically, when he run off the stage, Marsua was like to Mel, like, oh, you sat up here this entire time when he talking about Sheree, knowing this thing was a business relationship, just looking over there laughing. Mel is like, yeah, child, I knew this whole thing the whole time. And I'm like, well, we low-key knew too. We was just waiting on somebody to confirm it. That's all I was doing last week, was I was telling y'all it was confirmed. I've been saying this for the past year. I don't believe this thing real in no kind of way, okay? And I'm still not done with Sheree. I'm still not done with her because we let her off the hook real easy, okay? She getting off scot-free while she run over there onto the traders and things like that. No, girl, we know that you it sounded like a tall tale to me. Period. So Martell runs back. He's got the papers. But they are not the transcripts. Now, I don't know what papers these are, but Mel says they are the same pages he was running around to give bloggers to talk about their children's court case. What in the world? Okay? So he's screaming that she's making him look terrible on TV, and I'm like, no, my friend, that would be you. Okay, that's you. It is you, the actor. Okay, who is making yourself look bad on television and on social media by telling us that you are an actor. Carlos says, I'm so glad that y'all are done. And Mel says it was very toxic, and that's why she beat his behind that time. And I was like, I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable at this point. Because Martell says, let a man say something like that. And I mean, spouses don't fight. That's all I gotta say. That one took me by surprise. It did. I ain't gonna even lie. It did. Now, anyway, Tiffany's postpartum comes up, as well as her quitting the show. She does stick by the decision. Carlos lets her know that the doors to the church are open for her to return anytime she chooses. Okay. Stormi's mom, Miss Bettie, and Junior hit the stage, and Junior is in his best tassels. Okay. I ain't gonna hold y'all now. That I did enjoy his jacket. I actually enjoyed Martell's suit. I need to go back to that because y'all know I will give him all the HE double hockey sticks because it's fun to do and he makes it easy. But also, I'm not gonna take away from the fact that I thought his suit was pretty dope. I ain't gonna lie to y'all on that one. Now Junior and the tassels, what I do with the tassels, I don't know. I would have to see how I feel. It depends if I was feeling froggy that day. So anyway, let me just say this. My mother would not be allowed to come on a reality TV show. You know why? Well, number one, she's not gonna argue with nobody. I ain't gonna tell you that. She's just not. I won't go into why. But the other thing about it is, you know, it is very difficult to argue with somebody's mama. It really is. Because I can't really say to your mama what I might say to you because of how personally I was raised, right? I was raised to treat everybody else's mama like my mama, right? That's just how. But let me say this. The problem in that is with that level of respect that I'm trying to have, if your mother is coming at me, it's going to be very difficult for me to hold back. So it's just never going to feel like a fair fight. So that's why I wouldn't have my mama on reality TV personally in this forum. I think that the other situation that Carlos pointed out with this situation was that Stormi's mom, he made it a point to say, well, you have been a fan of this show since season 1. So you, my dear, are also in the group. So then you end up in this interesting space where somebody who is a fan of the show ends up on the show. It just creates an interesting dynamic. And it really creates a lose-lose situation for Stormi. Because the reality of this situation is, like, nobody is going to... Miss Bettie coming at Melody is not going to do Stormi no favors. It's just not. It doesn't matter how it comes across. I feel like, and I also feel like moms should not be confronting the friends of the child. I just feel like I just don't feel like it should happen. Because again, it's just never gonna play out well. And I feel like also you can't talk to my mama no kind of way. But then the other side of that argument is my mama shouldn't be talking to you no kind of way. My mama shouldn't be having no conversation with you at all. That's how I feel. So again, it's a lose-lose situation, but I understand Stormi can't really control her mama, and her mama making TV. Okay, so I mean that we have that too, right? I mean that's the caveat of it all. The mama is making TV. The situation between Stormi and Melody is an interesting one because I do feel like I don't know what goes on in the groups. Okay, so that's a different. I know what I talk about, and I know what comes out in like other publications that may have already happened in the group. So I feel like the group may have intel and things that happen as it is occurring in real time that a lot of because I'm not in the group, I may not know, right? So it's hard for me to speak about it. But what I can say is it does sound like, Melody is live tweeting. This is what it sounds like. And she is saying that someone recorded her. Now, I don't know what happened with the lines being... I remember seeing that tweet, but I'm not going to lie. I thought she was referring to Destiny. I never really thought that she was referring to Stormi. So for me, this was a new... I was shocked because then I remember seeing Stormi's mom's tweet being posted, and I was like, oh, or a tweet or a post or something like that, or a clap back. I don't really know what it was. Then I was like, oh, I guess maybe people were thinking it was Stormi. So what is the correct situation? What is the best way to handle that situation? For Stormi, it was, you could have said something right then and there. For Melody, I corrected you when we talked about it. I corrected it when we talked about it on the show. For Miss Bettie, it should have happened previously. And Mel says, well, why didn't you call me? And Stormi's like, I don't have your number. I'm gonna tell you what I would do. And I don't know if this is possible. If I felt like a cast member was saying something about me and then directing people and the people were being directed at me and it was affecting my business, I am calling production. I'm calling somebody and I'm being like, listen, I don't know how to get in contact with her, but this thing needs to stop right now. And I'm going to need this thing corrected as soon as possible because people are thinking that she is talking about me. Now, either you put me in contact with her or I'm going to have to go around her house. Somebody know where she live at. That's what I'm going to do. Because I mean, but should the onus be on Stormi to do all that? No. So I do think to a certain degree, the cast members do need to have a way to contact each other when something like this goes down. I do. Now I understand that, if Melody don't want to have her number, then somebody on her management team's number needs to be available. And I feel like that's how you easily shut things down. But if they shut it down, we wouldn't have this story. If they shut it down, we wouldn't have this drama. So, I mean, reality TV shows are built on miscommunications. If you don't believe me, look at some of the best reality TV shows that you've seen out there. And at the heart of it is usually some type of miscommunication that turns into something bigger. And that, my friends, is how you make a reality TV show. All right, y'all. So listen, thank you for tuning in, tapping in, and being turned on to this recap. I appreciate y'all so much. Be sure to download Matchmasters for the chance to win a $500 Amazon.com gift card using my link in the description of this video. And maybe let me know what you thought about this particular episode. Was it a 10 out of 10 like I gave it? Was it a winner chicken dinner? I need to know. And also, with that being said, y'all know how we do it on this channel. I'm going to catch you in the next video.